A typical day in China might begin like this. You roll out of bed and check WeChat messages on your Huawei smartphone. Then you hop into a BYD electric car and drive to the train station, where a high-speed train from a state-run factory quickly takes you to your destination. Chinese-designed nuclear plants, solar farms, and wind turbines power the city's lights. China is working hard to reduce its reliance on products and technology from the outside world. This effort is part of a years-long initiative by leader Xi Jinping to make the country more self-sufficient and less vulnerable to Western pressure amid rising tensions with the US. Beijing has invested hundreds of billions of dollars into key industries, particularly in high-end manufacturing, while urging business leaders to align with government priorities. Rather than depending on foreign companies for robots and medical devices, China is increasingly producing these goods domestically. Chinese-made solar panels are lessening the need for imported energy. The success of China's electric vehicle manufacturers and the artificial intelligence startup DeepSeek has sparked concerns that China may even surpass the West in certain high-tech sectors. However, beneath these achievements, Xi's industrial policy is incredibly costly, consuming state resources while government revenue stagnates. An estimate by the Washington-based Center for Strategic and International Studies indicated that China's annual spending on industrial policy was around $250 billion as of 2019. A significant amount of this funding has been lost on projects that have failed, particularly in advanced semiconductor manufacturing. Currently, China needs to discover new growth strategies to counter the negative impact on its economy from a struggling real estate sector and a deteriorating global trade environment. Many economists believe that instead of pouring more money into its vast industrial base, China should focus on strengthening its underdeveloped social safety net to stimulate a sustainable increase in consumer spending, as this would prevent further debt accumulation without assured returns. Xi formalized his vision for greater self-sufficiency in 2015 with the initiative called Made in China 2025. This initiative aimed to elevate Chinese manufacturing overall, but it specifically highlighted 10 priority sectors, including robotics, aerospace, and new energy vehicles. Last year, electric and plug-in hybrid cars accounted for 48% of car sales in China, an increase from 41% the previous year, totaling nearly 11 million vehicles, according to data from the China Passenger Car Association. Most of these electric vehicles were produced by Chinese brands like BYD and Geely. BYD recently overtook Volkswagen to become China's best-selling carmaker, while sales for US automakers like General Motors, which disclosed over $5 billion in charges related to its underperforming China business, have plummeted. For years, China was a net importer of chemicals. However, since 2021, this trend has reversed, leading to a surplus in chemical exports as domestic production has increased. In 2024, China recorded an export surplus of $34 billion in chemicals, compared to a $40 billion deficit in 2020. In aerospace, China's C919 jetliner entered commercial service in 2023, a feat celebrated by the government after years of delays. However, this plane, built by the state-owned manufacturer Comac to compete with Boeing and Airbus, contains many foreign systems and components, including landing gear from Germany and engines from the US and France. In addition to technological advancements, China's push for self-reliance in its food supply is challenged by a lack of arable land and water resources. China lacks indigenous technology to manufacture the most advanced chip-making tools, which are currently produced by a few suppliers in the Netherlands, Japan, and the US. Export controls prevent China from obtaining those essential tools. Huawei has developed its own operating system after being restricted from using Google's Android. Many economists argue that China could more effectively stimulate its economy by relaxing controls on its private sector, avoiding many of the problems associated with its state-led model.